What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber054. I have a new Digimon deck profile to show you guys. This is a casual deck just like the other ones that I've shown. Up to cards from BT9. It's not really the type of decks that can compete with some of the stronger stuff. It's just the stronger stuff is just way too fast. And these sort of decks are kind of too slow. But if you do get that set up and depending on what your opponent is using, this could be a cool deck. It's yellow, it's an angel deck. It's the first deck that I started using when the Digimon TCG came out. Heaven's Yellow was the starter deck of choice for me. And I really like angels, not just because Angelomon is sexy, I just think they're cool. Seraphimon, Holy Angelmon, I just always thought they were cool ever since I was a kid. Anyway, okay, so we're going to start with the eggs. The eggs, I don't want to say they don't really matter, but I only have two of the Meowmon. It's the one that we sort of want to have. So while the Digimon is suspended, that's using this as an egg, all your security get 1000 DP. So it's kind of the theme of this deck, sort of letting my opponent kill himself. Keep recovering cards to our security, and then they attack into them and they're dying basically as we boost their DP. But because I only got two, I sort of have to run other stuff like this Upamon. So this is if you have 3 security or less, I believe. You draw a card every time you attack. So it's just something, a little bit of draw power, I guess. And then I also got one of this guy, the Koromon. Is if you have 3 or fewer security cards when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets 1000 DP minus. So that's it. I mean, it's not really even Meowmon groundbreaking eggs like some other decks have, but we gotta have eggs still. So these are these guys. And then we go into our boss Digimon, and it's gonna be Seraphimon from the classic collection. We won 4 of this card. And yeah, it's a 12-4 standard, play cost, Digi-Evolution cost. And it gets that security, recovery effect from the top of your deck when you get him out. So that's why I want to run him. I mean, his artwork is super cool. Unfortunately, the other effect, it sort of combos with our strategy. When he's suspended, all of your security Digimon get plus 5000. But it's still, I mean, compared to the broken stuff, if you guys play the game, that have like a million of effects and just do all sorts of broken shit. This isn't anything groundbreaking. But I have him. I mean, he's the best out of the angels, I'd say. The original Seraphimon from BT1, he's cool, but I just wish he was at least 11,000 for the 3 Digi-Evolution cost. He's just too weak at 10k. Gives you that recovery, and then the security +1. It's only if you're at a specific number of securities that works. So yeah, it's just a power creep, unfortunately. And that's pretty much it. So we run this guy as the main boss Digimon. And then I have one of the Ophanimon. I guess I forgot to mention, there is another Seraphimon too that gives you a sort of double recovery if you have a tamer. But I'd rather have this, to be honest, because that guy just costs more for the same attack as Ophanimon. And this is just going to put in more in work if you want to do something different. Like when you Digivolve into her, you can decrease an opponent's, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5000, and that's pretty good. And then when you attack, minus 2000 more. So maybe you can kill something. And it's all of their security too. So you sort of feel a little bit safe when you attack. You're not going to be dying. So I kind of like her, just a more offensive attack, more offensive card, you could say. And I mean, it's part of the angel group. We can search her, so that's cool. And that's all the level 6s. Like I've said, this deck is all about having your opponent kill themselves, basically. So I do have, my boss Digimon, but it's not exactly all about that. For the child Digimon, we run 4 of this Patamon, of course, from the classic collection once again. This is your main searcher. You reveal 4, and then you can get any Digimon that has angel and stuff on it. Holy Angel, the 3, what's it called? 3 Great Angels or something. Yeah, 3 Great Angels, Archangel and Angel. So all of the cards in the deck basically. So great on play card. And then we got another Patamon that pretty much does almost the same thing. This is from EX3. Now, if you check the text on this card, I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, but this is the before the errata version. Like, Bandai comes up with these cards and they've already messed up and they gotta make erratas already. So, when you read the card like this, it just says, yeah, I get a yellow card with Angel and then 1/4 Great Dragons. So you can get pretty much everything in this deck, but there's some other sort of cards that got like the 4 Angel in them that you can't search. So just do your research, but this isn't the errated version. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it just says Angel. But you can search the stuff in this deck, like the level 4 Angels, level 5 Angels, and then Seraphimon and Seraphimon. You can get those too. Okay, so it's just another on-play searcher. So we got quite a few searchers in this deck. And then I do 4 of Lopmon. And I guess put this guy over here too. The same thing, Tapirmon. So you might be thinking, why are you running this vanilla cards? And the reason is pretty simple. You can run like Salamon. When you attack, you draw a card if you have 3 or more security, I think, and then a few other cards that give you these sort of inherited effects that might help. But I want to have these cards because number one, it's still 0 Digi-Evolution cost, so I can Digivolve into my guys, you know, for free, my egg for free, and draw a card. And because they've got the highest sort of Digimon power as a small Digimon, you know, a level 3 Digimon. We have a lot of the Dagerus in this deck, and with some of the cards you've seen, like Seraphimon, that sort of boost our security, even the small cards, you know, are going to have a lot of DP if they're in the security. So I want my opponent to attack security and just killing themselves, basically. So that's why I want to have the strongest Digimon. I believe Salamon would be 2k for 3. I think that's the effect. I think that's the attack. And some of the other ones that give you the inheritables, they obviously have lower attack too. These are just 4k, and there's a few other ones you can use, like Leo, like the little Leomon, little lion Digimon. You can use that too, but they're just 3, you know, 4, and with just 1 Takeru, you know, they become 6. With 2, they become 8, and they just, it's easier for them to get stronger. So that's the point why I'm running them. If you don't want to run them, you want to run some different stuff, you can do so. Alright, and these are all the child Digimon. It's 13 of them. And then I do the level 4 cards. We got the Angemon from the Classic Collection. Once again, this is the best one, I guess, the standard one, you know. 6, 2 Digi-Evolution costs 6,000, it's okay. And then if you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gets 1,000 when it attacked until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it'll keep the bonus, which is very important, especially in this day and age where all of the other sort of archetypes, they give bonus in all turns, busted stuff. So if we can get this effect off, we're going to remain strong in our opponent's turn too, which is important so that we don't die, hopefully. But yeah, it's the sort of best angel. We don't have too many great angels. For yellow. And then I got the 1 Bidomon as well. You can think of this as a sort of alternate version of Angemon. I mean, different color patterns, but it's almost the same card, artwork-wise. This card is great because it's a 1 Digi-Evolution card. It's one of those cards that you can, if you use this, and then you can maybe go into your level 5, and then it just helps you go into your strongest Digimon faster. But he is a blocker, and he is an angel, so it's just too many good things going for it not to run. So we max it out once again, and we got 1 of the Turuyamon. So this is just a beast, but beastkin, but you could say it's like from the holy Digimon family, like the angel family, maybe holy beast. Anyway, he doesn't have any, you know, synergy with the deck in terms of Patamon searching it and stuff. He's not an angel, but he is a level one, a 1 Digivolution cost card. So once again, it's just going to help me get into my bigger guys faster. So I decided I would run this instead of just running other cards with inheritables and shit. I just want to keep things simple. So this helps us remain hopefully quick and evolve into our dudes quickly. Okay. I mean, its stats are okay as well at 6k. If he's in the security and gets the bonuses, it's pretty good as well. Okay. And then I do the level 5s. Of course, we gotta have my favorite Angelomon here. And I got 4 in the deck, but I want to take one out for another card. I'm gonna talk about it later. But yeah, you can do 4 if you want, but it's probably better to do 3 and then do 4 of another 5. But I just like her because she's a 10,000, you know, 3 Digivolution, level 4. So she's big enough. It's almost like level 6, you could say, as big as they get for level 5s. So because I'm running a lot of her too, you know, maybe we don't need more level 6s. That's the idea, and because I sort of wanted my opponent to kill themselves in the security. And once again, I mean, if she's in the security and they attack her, you know, unless it's a level 6, they're usually going to be dying with 10k. And getting the bonus from other cards, even level 6s are going to be dying. So that's the beauty of this card. Plus, I mean, Angelomon is very beautiful. This sort of alternate artwork is nice too, but I think the original one, I think it's better anyway. So 4 of her, but I would drop 1 for a different card. Then we got 4 of the starter deck Angelomon. So I like this card as well. The stats are weak, and the Digivolution cost, it's sort of, you know, high 3 for just 7,000. But the idea is if you get this when you're losing, you get a free recovery +1, and that's pretty strong. That's why we run this card. It's a sort of a defense measure, I guess, against the very aggressive decks. And we are going to be getting our ass kicked. So when you get this, you get that free recovery. Plus it's going to synergize with one of our tamers here. So recovery +1 is a theme of the deck, obviously. So nice. I mean, it's Angelomon, is an holy angel, so you can search her. Archangel, really nice once again. All right. And then I do 3 of the Holy Angelmon, or Magna Angelmon in English, from the classic collection. So this is the card that I have 3 and I've used it with 3, but I want to put 4 because this card is just too nice, and then drop one of the Angelomons, the vanilla ones, with 10,000. It just makes the most sense because in ways these cards are similar. Like when this card attacks, if you have 3 security cards or more, he's going to get 4,000 plus. So that's 11k, basically, even stronger than Angelomon. And then he keeps the bonus on your opponent's turn as well. So like the Angelomon inheritable. Now that's pretty good. Now you got to attack and you got to have 3 or more security, but it's not the most difficult condition to meet. Like if you get this relatively early, you'll be able to get the bonus. And he also has something else that's really coveted in this deck. The inheritable, when a card is added to your security stack, you gain 1 memory. So basically, I mean, they made it work with his final evolution. When you put Seraphimon on top of this card, it's like you got him out for 3 memory as opposed to 4. So, obvious synergy, good combo, getting that Seraphimon for 3 memory as opposed to 4. So that's why I think I want to max him out. And then if you do keep him around, then every time you get another recovery +1, you can still gain memory. So that's a pretty busted effect. His on-play effect is really high, but you probably never want to on-play a card like this anyway. And yeah, he's just a good card. I mean, 3 is still a good number, a big number, but I think I would want to put the 4th one. I have a 4th one. I just don't know where I put him. I got a lot of cards, but I know I have a 4th one. It's not like I don't have him. And I couldn't find him. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep it like this for now. All right. And these are all the level 5s, 11 of them. Now we go on to the tamers. I mean, we got 2 of the Higari for my memory setter tamer. Start of your turn, if you got 2 memory less, put your memory to 3. And then every time a card is added to your security stack on your turn, you can gain a tamer. I did think of running the old Seraphimon from BT1 that when it dies, she puts herself back in your security, but it wouldn't trigger if it's on your opponent's turn, so she only has that effect too. I decided not to run her in the end. But we have other cards, obviously, that give us security, +1, and you'll be able to get free memory with this, so we'll run it. I mean, in my eyes, is the best memory setter tamer in this sort of deck. You got a few other options, but I think this is the best one. And then we do 4 of Takeru from the first, well, from the Angel starter deck, like the original one. Okay, so this is the bread and butter of the deck. If you get a couple of these out, your security gain boosts. It can be pretty slow to run a lot of this tamer where you just play it down and you don't really do much, but the idea is your opponent should be killing themselves when they attack. So this hopefully balances out. I do want to see it, that's why I max it out. Maybe 3 is better, but if you run more, then you get that chance of your opponent hitting in the prizes too, in the life. So that's a good thing. But I mean, it's once again part of the main strategy of this deck: boost our security and sort of let our opponent kill himself. As they attack, you know, the security, we recover our security, so it's sort of controlling, letting them come to you and then just killing themselves, sort of thing. And I kind of like this tactic. But this is the last tamer. Max the dude out, and then I have 3 more cards. We've got the Reinforcing Memory Boost. So this card is busted, that's why we run it. If they hit it in the security, it's like you get 3 memory for free, basically. And then it also acts as a sort of a recovery card, and it will trigger Hikari if you got her down. So pretty much, I mean, it just makes sense. It's limited for a reason. So we run it, basically. And then last 2 cards, one of my favorites. I wish I had space for more, but you just can't. Is the Heaven's Gate. So I really like this card. It's gonna boost our guys, give them a much needed boost, and it's just an awesome card when it's in the security too. All of your security Digimon get plus 5,000, and then you grab this card in your hand. So I mean, not just your security Digimon, all of your Digimon in play too. It's almost like a Digimon Wabaku. All of your guys are gonna be sort of invincible. I mean, unless your opponent has like Omnimods and shit all day long, then maybe they won't care about the boost. But usually if all of your guys get 5,000 and all your security get 5,000, it's a pretty high boost, you gotta admit that. So just a very nice security effect. Nice main effect too, to boost your attack and just kill something. Make Angelomon with 10k, 13k, or even bigger. So good stuff. And this is the deck, guys. I mean, casual deck once again. I don't want to make people think this is like a broken deck you're gonna win the tournaments, all the tournaments with. I mean, it's Angels, it's cool. I mean, I don't like how Digimon is right now, and I'm sort of glad I stopped buying boxes after BT9, because it's just Yu-Gi-Oh at this point, and it's gonna get even worse with the stuff coming out. Just way too fast, way too many broken cards that just build themselves. And I just really miss when it was like the early sets, you know, simple shit, slow shit, get that set up, and it's just more interactive. It's not about getting one big dude out that just has all of the effects on them. Anyway, so that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not gonna name this deck, I guess, on the title as a budget deck, but I would imagine it is a budget deck. I don't know about the prices though. Maybe some of the cards here are expensive. I kind of doubt it, but anyway. So that's the deck. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for my usual Pokemon TCG stuff, among other things. Leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What-ay!